Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. So I got an interesting question here about cockiness. Something I know a little bit about. So the question is how to look confident without being cocky. And I think this is actually, to be serious, this is actually a really good question because this can be an issue. I think there's a lot of confusion between a few different terms that are similar but don't quite mean the same thing, and different people interpret them differently, which is confidence. Well, actually, yeah, so confidence, self-confidence, self-esteem, arrogance, and cockiness. Right? How's that for a bunch of terms? Those all mean sort of different things, and some of them are negative, and some of them are bad, and some of them depend on the situation. But let me read the question, and then I'll kind of address this and sort of give you what I think is a good framework to work from and some ideas on this topic, because this is one that I think a lot of people trip up on, and they're afraid of going too far in one direction, so they just back off way too far, and they don't understand what confidence is, and that gets them into trouble here. So I was watching your video on faking it until you make it, and oh yeah, so I do have a video on faking it till you make it. It's actually an embarrassing video because it's an old video, but yeah, there you go, fake it till you make it. And I had a question. So actually, I think it's one of my first videos, and I had a question about confidence. How do you look confident without coming off as cocky? Is there anything wrong with making it look like you know something when you don't? Okay, so let's address the question that's easy to address first, which is there anything wrong with making it look like you know something when you don't? Yes, absolutely. Do not do this. This is not confidence. This is not faking it till you make it. This is just being a phony, basically, right? So I'll readdress real quick fake it till you make it. Fake it till you make it says, I am going to act the part. I'm going to play the role. I'm going to I'm going to say I can do it and then figure out how. I'm not going to pretend like I know something that I don't, right? I'm not going to BS you and lie about something that I don't. So don't do that. If you pretend to know something that you know nothing about or lie about that, it's going to be apparent, and it's not going to look like confidence at all, and it's not going to look like cockiness, which is not necessarily bad. Cockiness is the one that is, but what it is going to look like is arrogance. And arrogance is toxic in all forms. Arrogance does not help you. Cockiness, that can be, it's an interesting one there. Confidence, that's always good. Arrogance, bad. No. Arrogance basically means this. Arrogance means I think that I'm worth more, or I'm going to present myself having some quality that I know I lack. That's what arrogance is, right? That's my definition of arrogance. I'm going to present myself as having some quality, perhaps some knowledge that I know that I lack. Totally different than faking it till you make it. Fake it till you make it is more like, look, I'm going to play the role. I'm going to do the part. I've never done this before, but I can do it. I'm going to figure it out. You're not even going to know that I don't know this because I'm going to figure this out. Like it is playing the role. It's acting as if you're already successful and just stepping into it. It's diving in over your head and saying, yeah, I'm going for it anyway, and eventually I'm going to get there because I already see myself as successful, right? That's good. That's confidence. That will build confidence as you succeed in doing that. Okay, so now let's talk about the other question here. How do you look confident without coming off as cocky? So first I want to address cockiness, because I mentioned this a few times. Cockiness is not necessarily bad, right? If some of you that have dabbled in the whole seduction or the pickup PUA type of, of the idea of cocky funny, right? This is a guy that goes up and he makes jokes and it's a persona, cocky funny, right? This is an attractive quality. Women find cocky funny guys to be attractive, right? Because why? No, why is that true? And why can cockiness actually be a really bad thing, right? You got to think about it. It's all about, this is where we relate it to self-confidence and self-esteem, right? So self-confidence means that I'm proficient and I know it. I've got the skills, and so I know that those skills are solid, right? So I don't have anything to prove. I can do it. Self-esteem says, I'm going to have the skills, I'm going to have the talent, but I myself am worth something, and I may fail, and I may not know this thing, and whatever, but I highly value myself. You see what I'm saying? These are all different qualities, and so cockiness sort of depends on how where it comes from, right? If cockiness comes from self-esteem and it comes from self-confidence, then it's a great place. So you have the right to be cocky because you're not threatened by other people, right? A cockiness that's threatened by other people is one that has some arrogance mixed into it. Remember I said arrogance is always toxic? If you're cocky and you have arrogance mixed in, what that looks like is it looks like this. It looks like you're lesser than me. You're not even worth my time. Like, I just have to show you how good I am and how little you are. And the whole purpose why I'm going to show you how confident I am is just to show you in comparison how much better I am than you. And you're nothing. That's the cockiness that's no good. You see what I'm saying? But a cockiness that comes from, I have no problem. You know what? I got no problem, just being who I am, because you can like me, you cannot, but whatever. It doesn't matter. And genuinely, I'm just here to have fun, man. I'm just here to have fun. So that's it, right? That's a cockiness that's attractive. That's a cockiness that has value because it's based in things that are real. It's based in a true self-confidence because you know your skills. You know that what you're doing, is something that you have aptitude in, real aptitude, not fake aptitude. Remember, I've got a lot of terms here, but remember what I said arrogance was. It's representing something that you know that you don't have, right? Total opposite of self-confidence, because self-confidence, or confidence in general, is you represent it and you know you have it, right? That's confidence. And where self-esteem, again, is that I value myself. I might not have, it doesn't matter, but like I'm here to have fun because it doesn't matter. Like I don't need external validation, right? If you need some help with that one, watch my video on external validation. I know I've got a few of these, but there's at least one will show up here on external validation. But you see what I'm saying? So don't worry about being cocky here. So I don't know if it's kind of hard to address the question because it's the wrong question. I don't mean to pick on you for the question. It's a good question because I think these terms get overloaded. And like I said, and don't hang too much on my definitions of these terms. Just understand that there are these. The wording is not so important, right? Different people are going to view these as different things, but understand what's behind them, right? This principle, this value of do you represent the skills that you have? Are you representing something that you don't have, right? And so the thing is, like, the arrogance and the kind of bad, we could call it toxic cockiness. That's kind of a fun word to say, toxic cockiness. But we could say that comes from actually a lack of self-confidence, right? It's a lack of self-confidence and a lack of self-esteem. If you're seeking external validation, right? What that means is that you need other people to make you feel good, right? So you need other people to acknowledge. You need to say, "You're the man, John," and you say, "Oh yeah, I am. That's right. That's now I'm good. All right, that's what I was trying to get." If that comes from a lack of confidence, right? It comes from a lack of self-esteem. You need other people to define your worth, okay? And so you could be cocky. In the way, cocky is how you present, right? You could present yourself in a cocky manner and have that going for you, and that's going to result in arrogance, which people are not going to like. They're going to see it. They're going to see it as needy, and they're going to see you as shallow, and they're going to see you as arrogant, and it's not going to come off good, right? That's actually just faking it. It's not faking it until you make it. It's just plain flat faking it, right? But at the same time, you could come off cocky because You've got the skills because it doesn't matter, because you're not seeking external validation, because it doesn't matter what these people that you're talking to, what they think of you. You like them. You'd like to have a fun time with them. You know that you're hot shit, and that they would have fun if they met you, and that you've got some value to offer to people. And if they don't think so, it's okay, because you're gonna have fun by yourself. You got fun with yourself because you have a value and appreciation for yourself, and you know that the things that you represent, that you don't have to lie about them, right? So think about that. That's the way I think to approach this, and you won't get into trouble. It's really easy to slip and fall in these areas. I think a whole book obviously could be written on this topic, but I'll leave you with one piece of advice here, which is basically this: don't worry about being cocky. You should not worry about that, right? Don't worry about coming off cocky. It's not a bad thing. In fact, if you had to choose between cocky or timid, right? Go cocky and bold are kind of the same thing. Go cocky. That's fine. If you're too cocky, people will let you know, and you can back off a little bit. If you're too timid, you're done. No one cares. You're done. They've already written you off. You're a pushover. They're going to take it. No. If you're too cocky, like I said, and it's not arrogance. If it's arrogance, it's going to be bad. But even you can come back from arrogance, right? You can come back from arrogance. If you blow some off because you're cocky and arrogant, and then and you humble yourself, that actually kind of builds rapport. But if you're timid, it's really hard to come back from timid. It's really hard to come back from weak. Now, how do you become strong when you've shown yourself to be weak, right? Now it's all going to look like a front. Now it's all going to look like arrogance. Now it's all going to look like fake, because now it's going to look like you're trying to prove yourself, because people don't go from timid to confidence without a hero's journey, right? We could talk about Joseph Campbell and hero's journey. If you want some good books on that, on how that progression goes, check out Joseph Campbell's books on the hero's journey. But anyway, that's off topic here. That's it. I've got one last thing for you, of course, which is, and I'll do this as confidently as possible. If you want to get the best advice and see the best channel on YouTube, there's one thing you've got to do, which is to click that subscribe button. And you will watch my videos, which are the best, and you know it. Talk to you next time.